So before you give up on your New Year's resolutions, I want you to try these two things. My name is Eddie, and I am a therapist and a mom coach who specializes in helping middle-aged moms overcome overwhelm, stress, and anxiety. So, the things that I want you to think about before you give up on your New Year's resolutions is, what are the stories that you're telling yourself about the New Year's resolution that you want to achieve. And I want you to think about the emotional state and the physical state that your body is in while you're trying to achieve the goal. Often, what I find, what I share with people in my therapy space and in my coaching practice is, I want you to think about these three things when you're trying to achieve change. Too often we are focused on the strategies. So if you think about the stories, the state, and the strategies, we focus as a society too much on the strategies, almost to the point of overwhelm. Because not for nothing, if you want to achieve something, there is a way to achieve it. You want to get out of debt, there's the snowball, there's the avalanche, there's the whatever method, there's the pay down, whatever. You want to lose weight, you could do keto, you could do vegan, you could do, you could do fasting, you could do low calorie, low fiber. Like, there is something for anything that you want to achieve. There is a strategy for how to achieve the thing. Yet, why are we not successful at achieving our goals? And I would argue to you that you are not looking at the core components, which is what I focus on in my practice, which is your subconscious state. What are the beliefs that you have around yourself and these things? And what is your emotional state, right? Because we don't even realize that our subconscious is playing, like, running in 95% in the background and is in charge 95% of the time. So you want to ask yourself, what are the stories that you tell about yourself? If you say to yourself, I'm going to lose the weight, but you see yourself as someone, I've always been overweight, I'm always someone who can't ever get it together, I'm always the fat friend, I'm always the one that, people, I have my friends that I do all this stuff with. Like, what are the stories? What are the beliefs? Oh, I have my mother's genes, and so, I can never be someone that loses weight. What are the stories that you're telling about yourself? Because that is what is running in the background. So you are the fat friend who's got the fat genes, who's trying to lose weight, right? If you change up the story where you're like, this has been something that I have learned, this is a skill, like, this has just been what I grew up around. This is who I was because I wanted to be accepted. I was the fat friend because I wanted to be accepted, but now I don't want that story anymore. It changes how you see yourself, and it changes how you then implement the strategy, right? So not only is it that you have to look at the story, what are the beliefs? I'm the person who, and I would tell this story, I would run around and tell the story of, like, oh, I look at a cookie and get fat, right? And I just kind of told myself this story because I didn't understand how I would eat cookies and I would gain weight, and, like, I'd have my skinny friends who would eat cookies and just, it never hit them, right? So I became this identity of, like, oh, I can't ever eat sweets because, like, I just put on weight. I just have the body of someone who just puts on weight. Like, if you want to change what your life trajectory is, you have to change the story. And if you don't have evidence to change the story, you're just telling yourself, I'm acquiring the skills, I'm learning how to, like, develop the skills to lose the weight or to save the money or the whatever it is. If you start to tell yourself the story of, I just haven't figured out you know, the right skill set or the right strategies for me, as someone who has never done it before, I'm now learning, and I'm someone who's, like, constantly learning. And so that is my story now. I am going to go on this journey of getting healthy. I'm going to go on this journey of getting out of debt. I'm going to go on this journey of discovery of whatever it is, of finding love, whatever the thing is. Instead of being like, oh, I'm never lucky in love. You're like, I'm going to go on a journey, and I'm going to open myself up to finding love in, like, random ways, right? Then you create an opportunity to say, I've never done this thing before. That has not been my story thus far, but I'm open to changing the story. So the one thing you want to do is, if you have a goal that you want to achieve, you say to yourself, okay, what is the story that I want to believe about myself instead of the current story that exists. What is the current narrative that exists about me? I'm bad with money. I'm not smart enough. What, like, you want to identify the stories that you tell about yourself, and then you're going to say, I'm going to change that story. Okay. Then when you focus on changing the story, you then want to access the emotional state with which you're like seeing yourself in that story. So for example, if I said to myself, I am going to be someone who like gets a handle on, learns everything I can about saving money and getting out of debt. I'm going to learn all of the things. And I'm excited about it, right? Like, oh my God, I can't even wait to like learn about how to save money. Like, I can't even, like, I'm so excited to learn about saving money. I'm so excited to go on this journey of health. I'm so excited to go on, like just this adventure of like finding love. Like it's just going to be, if anything else, it's just going to be a funny story, right? You can see how like just my emotional state creates a sense of like, yeah, we're going on this adventure, right? As opposed to if I said, yeah, I'm going to go on an adventure of finding love, and I'm going to go on an adventure of like saving money, but it's going to be so hard. Oh, God. Like, I'm going to like lose weight. Oh, I have to give up so much stuff. Like, do you see the difference in energy around not only are you changing the story, but like, how are you presenting the story, right? How are you seeing the story? If you see yourself like, oh, it's going to be torturous, like going to the gym every day, right? Like, and I'm not saying you have to fake it and be like, oh, I'm excited about going to the gym, right? Like, I'm not saying you have to become that person either, but I think you want to think about the state in which you are making these new stories. And the thing that I say to people, and again, I work with trauma every day, right? I work with clients who live this story of this thing has happened, and they have a story of I'm broken or there's something wrong with me, and you can feel, you see that in their body, right? But if I can get you to a state of like, it's not your fault, or this is just something that this is part of the story, and we're going to switch up your story. You're like, yeah, I'm going to change up my story. And like, it becomes less about these things, the strategies, and more about how you're choosing to incorporate what it is that you're seeing in your life, right? Your reality may be not great, but it's what is the story that you want to tell about yourself in this current state, right? What is the story you want to tell about yourself? Are you the person that's, I'm never lucky in love. I can't ever seem to lose weight. I can't ever seem to save money. I'm stupid. I'm this, I'm that. Instead of like being in that, you're like, I just have never learned how to like actually be in a relationship before. Like, oh my God, like, but now that I know, I can be excited. Oh my God, like, oh my God, right? As opposed to, I've never had to like known what it like to be in love, and it's like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. I can't even believe that I don't even know how to date properly. Right? All of these things that you just are like, okay, I need you to change the story, and I need you to change the state, the emotional state with which you are now going to tell this new story, right? Now, for some people, it is like excitement, woo woo. For some people, it's like, I am so tired of this current state and I am done. I'm done. If it takes anger, if it takes, I don't like to use fear, but if it takes fear, if it takes whatever for you to get into an emotional state, an activated state to change the story, then you use what you can use to change the story. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want to remember what it feels like to be in pain. I want to remember what it feels like to like have the creditor at my door. I want to remember this because this will never happen again, right? This will never happen again. If that's what that takes to get you activated, to say that is the last day that I became that person who got walked on all over, who just, was not smart with money, did not make the right choices. Like, that was the last day. And I changed from that day forward. I changed my story. If that's what it takes to change your story, to then implement the strategy, then that's what it takes. So try that out. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.